lost and I know where to go now. I don't really have a place to call my home now. Everybody hating on a physical now. Why do everybody make me feel alone? Like I'm trying lost and I know where to go now. I don't really have a place to call.
Back with Naruto. Naruto slammed his fist in the wall. He was angry again. Someone stood at his way. He wanted to kill Danzo, but many people standing in his way. First was Sasuke, then Hinata, then was Itachi. Now it was Gaara, Naruto. Toby said. Naruto looked at Toby with anger in his eyes. Calm yourself down, Naruto. Tomorrow we will finally kill the man, Toby said. Naruto felt relieved, finally. All these years he was going to kill him. Naruto knew the truth of Danzo from Toby, and that made Naruto more vengeful against him. But as much as Naruto hated it, he wanted to kill him because Danzo was cause his friend of suffering. Danzo, tomorrow I will send you to hell by myself. Naruto stood over to the tree. There he was, Danzo, the man that he was destined to kill. Naruto knew that he was doing all of the villages and it was people of favorites because their plan first was step is to get rid of the corrupted leaders, starting with Danzo. I know why must you be here, Uzumaki, Danzo said, turning around and looked behind him. Naruto landed on the ground and faced Danzo. The whole world is after you, Naruto. What's the point of trying to achieve what you want when everyone is against you? Danzo asked. Tempting Naruto, Naruto clenched his fist and grins his teeth. You think you'll be getting away with this? I'd rather die than let the pests like you get away. Naruto growled. Danzo smiled as he reached and take out his bandage. And then I will kill you myself, he said. Then a blank of his eye, Danzo took his bandage, revealing his arm, implanting with Sharingan's eyes. Danzo smiled and become insanely grin as he looked in at shock. Naruto was told by Toby that Danzo stole the Sharingans, but he never knew that he would go that far. You bastard, Naruto shouted. Thus he became infuriated with the Kyuubi chakra mode. He and many innocent people did you kill in order to get those eyes? He shouted. Danzo, well, pretty much ironic for you to say this. Didn't you go out of your way to kill in order to get the need scrolls? Danzo asked Naruto. This made Naruto get even angrier. He slowly started to approach Danzo. You tried to use me? You turned the council against the villagers against me? You caused a damn massacre that should have been prevented? Naruto shouted. Since when did you getting soft? Danzo said. The last comment made Naruto snap. The pen down. He still cared about them, about his friends, but he knew the horrible things Danzo did. He tried to steal the Byakugan, putting Hinata in danger, her massacre of Sasuke's clan, his family. He turned the civilians against him, and he tried to use him as a weapon. Naruto let out a battle cry as a charge at Danzo with a full speed. Danzo was quickly enough to block his attack with a kunai. I'll enjoy the sight of seeing you suffer a painful death, Naruto shouted as he raised with his Kyuubi chakra with a kunai and went for the killing blow. Danzo dodged it and punching Naruto in his guts. Naruto backed away as he began to forming a Rasengan. Then, at the shadow of the legendary sun, he looked at the distance. Jiraiya looked at Naruto. Jiraiya started to ache in the fact that he wasn't around. He should have been around and he wished that he was with him, making Naruto feel like there was a family around him. Instead of leaving him behind, things would have been so different, Jiraiya thought. The Leaf ninjas carried reports of two shinobis fighting on the bridge, Shino explained, while everyone listening carefully to both Neji and Shino. It is bad news. I don't think everyone will like it. It's Danzo, leader of the Roots Anbu, and the sixth Hokage. And Naruto, Neji explained. Damn it, why does Naruto have to do this every single time? Once in a while, Kiba explained. Naruto, neglection and abusement from the villagers is what brought him to vengeance, idiot, Sakura said, bringing a tick mark on her head. Tenten looked around, making sure that nobody was here. Sasuke and Hinata weren't there. Right, asked, concerned. Now it's completely getting out of hand. As much as I hate to admit it, Naruto has to be killed, Neji explained. Sakura eyes widened at what Neji said before. You asked why, Sakura? Naruto's actions have gone way out of control, invading the Hokage summit and taking both Kazekage and Rikage, and adding he stole the valuable Konoha items and he is part of the Akatsuki. Neji explained. Sakura tried to argue that killing Naruto off is a bad idea, but as much as she hates to admit it, Neji was right. So, who's going to? Choji asked. All of them flinched with the pain and looking away, but Sakura walked up to Neji. I'll kill him. Naruto and Danzo kunai clash. Again, they both back away, but Danzo took it as a chance to hit Naruto in his guts. He then did a hand sign, breathing the air. Fire style fireball jutsu, he shouted. He blew the fire quickly, came out at Naruto. Naruto shielded himself from the incoming attack before it burned him to a crisp. Those eyes, I need to close those eyes, Naruto said, panting. Then Toby appeared beside him. It seems that you need my assistance, Toby said, activating his Mangekyo Sharingan. I will help you, Toby plainly said. 2 against 1 now. Things will be interesting, Danzo said, smirking but with a blank of an eye. All of them clash, a spark of everywhere. It is now Naruto's only chance for him to extract his vengeance. Flashback. A 6-year-old Naruto jumping from one roof to another. To avoid the streets, he always hated to look at the villagers, always calling him. He never understood why. Why would the villagers of the Hidden Leaf treat him with cruelty and hatred? Naruto stopped at the rooftop and looked down. Parents and child walking around together as the child were holding their parents' hand, never letting them go. I wonder how it's like to have parents, Naruto thought to himself as he kept jumping with Sasuke. Emptiness, salutation, hatred, vengeance is what all young Sasuke Uchiha felt. After his whole clan and family were massacred by his brother, he woke up by his bed, wishing, catching his breath, as he hoped it was only a nightmare, that he would come and be welcomed by his mother and brother and his father. Sasuke got up of his bed, ran quickly at the kitchen, praying that it was only a dream. Would have been a nightmare, but he entered the kitchen and found nothing. It was empty. Nobody was there. Waiting for him, Sasuke was saddened. As he sat down at the table, imagine that he sat with his family as normal every day. He even talked quietly to himself so he could relieve the stress and sadness, but that didn't seem to work. Run, run, and cling to your life. When you have the same eyes as mine, come after me. Itachi's words rang through his mind. Itachi, just why would you do this? Sasuke thought to himself as he got up and went outside with Naruto. A bruised Naruto was sitting alone in the park with nobody with him. A villager gave him a strong punch to the Uzumaki. He was still sitting silently alone in the park. Then the Shai Uchiha Air Hinata walking with her uncle. She saw the hero who saved her from the bullies all alone. She wanted to go and cheer him up, but her shyness and fear held her back. Hinata-sama, what's the matter? Her uncle said. She took one last look at him and then she shook her head. Okay, then. Her uncle said, but guilt was what she felt. When she left, an hour passed and Naruto was walking alone. There he was, an Uchiha sitting alone by himself. He looked at him as he kept walking. He was alone. Someone else shared his same pain. Naruto felt happy that there was someone else like him. The Uchiha turned his head to face Naruto. Naruto gave him a disgusted glare, and Sasuke pouted. Thus both of them turned their heads facing each other direction, and that deep down both of them respected each other. With Jiraiya, after a horrible incident of the nine-tailed fox and the death of his student and his wife, Jiraiya of the Tosage was taking a mission for his spy network to gain information to help his village. Jiraiya knew that his student had a child. Jiraiya dreaded to go back to the village to meet his young boy, but the mission was on his way. He just hoped that his mission would finish sooner or later. Whatever you are, I promise, I'll be back, Jiraiya thought to himself. Back to the present. Naruto, I wish that we haven't reunited in this time like this, the Toe Sage thought. As he faced the young Uzumaki with his kunai was dripping with blood of Danzo's corpse in front of him, Naruto turned around with a sarcastic grin and sent shivers down to the Sanin. Long time no see, pervy sage, Naruto spatted. Jiraiya was surprised, and yet again he felt pride among all the emotions he felt when he faced his young Uzumaki. He managed to beat Danzo himself, but again he was terrified in what he become. The blood spattered around Naruto's face as his eyes formed into the nine tails. But there wasn't any red eyes, Naruto. How? Jiraiya asked. Naruto let out a dark, evil chuckle. Don't be surprised, pervy sage. I'm just the son of the fourth Hokage, after all, Naruto said. So he also knew the identity of his parents, Jiraiya thought to himself. He knew now why is Naruto after blood. The Akatsuki reveals the identity of the both of his parents, thus that made him snap. Pervy sage, I could have still felt your heart pump in fear with every single second of it, Naruto explained with a grin getting wider and wider. You better run, Jiraiya. Don't make me lose the only reason that is keeping me sane now. He warned Jiraiya as he stopped using the nickname he used to give him. Jiraiya had no choice to fight him. He controlled the Nine Tails chakra, and even if he was the Sage mode, there's no way he could have defeated him unless if he would give him information to the leaf about him, they would figure out a way to defeat him and bring him back. Before Jiraiya even considers running, Naruto grabbed his shoulders tightly, and a insane grin came into his face. One second thought, I'll consider killing you, he exclaimed as he delivered a punch at his former master as he flew through the ground. Jiraiya quickly regained his composure. Next thing he knew, an orange-black strip claws came as quickly as thunder as clashed into the bridge. Jiraiya was lucky enough to avoid it as half of his remaining of the bridge was already gone. Come on, Toe Sage, Naruto shouted as quickly came into Jiraiya as he threw his fist right